Today, we're diving into a really simple story that has a powerful message about something that, well, affects pretty much all of us: debt.
Okay, so our story kicks off with a monkey who didn't do anything you'd think was actually wrong. He didn't steal.
And he didn't gamble away a savings or make some crazy, reckless bet. Nope, he was just trying to get by.
What he did do was something millions of us do every single day, probably without even thinking about it. He just used a credit card. An everyday action, sure, but with some serious hidden consequences.
And that's the whole point. That one tiny decision, it quietly set a trap that he'd be stuck in for years. It just goes to show you how these small choices can have these massive long-term ripple effects.
So, this gets us to the big question we need to keep in our minds through all of this. Is the promise of buy now, pay later ever really free?
All right, let's start where it all began, with what looked like a totally harmless offer. Okay, so let's meet Mikey. And look, Mikey's not lazy. He works hard at a banana farm, he earns enough to get by, but he wants a little more. And who can't relate to that? He just wants a more comfortable life. He's not trying to strike it rich, just make things a bit easier.
And then along comes the monkey bank. They show up with this shiny new card and a promise that sounds, well, it sounds amazing. Take what you want now and just pay us back later. It sounds like a helping hand, doesn't it? Like the perfect tool to close that gap between the life he has and the one he's dreaming of.
But this is where the story starts to take a turn. It's all because of this one little number that starts growing, quietly.
Now, what's so weird about this is that Mikey is doing everything right. He's not missing payments, he's not being irresponsible, but something just isn't right. He's working hard, but the numbers, they just don't add up. And the culprit, it's something called interest. I mean, the bank has a fancy word for it. It's their fee for borrowing money. But to Mikey, it's just confusion. It's this invisible thing that's constantly pushing him backward, no matter how hard he tries to move forward.
And this chart here really shows you how frustrating this is. Just look at that huge bar on the left. That's all the bananas he's paying the bank. That's all his hard work. And now look at the tiny little bar next to it. That's how much his debt actually goes down. See the problem? The effort he's putting in is huge, but the progress is, well, it's almost nothing.
And this brings us to this wild paradox, a concept the source material calls the freedom leash.
It really comes down to this massive shift in how he sees things. The exact same card that he once thought was his ticket to freedom, now it just feels like a leash, holding him in place.
So how does this leash actually work? Well, it's a nasty little loop. Let's break it down. Step 1, he has to spend just to survive. Step 2, a huge part of what he pays back goes just to cover the interest, not the original amount he spent. Step 3, because of that, he starts falling behind, which leads to step 4, he's forced to spend again. And on it goes.
And this right here is maybe the most important part of Mikey's whole story. This isn't some accident. It's not a bug in the system. The system was designed to work this way. He didn't just stumble into a trap. The trap was built for him.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second and see how this all connects back to us. Because, spoiler alert, this story isn't really about a monkey.
Yeah, Mikey's story, it's really about us. Those shiny offers, the super easy choices, and those consequences that we don't really see coming. It's basically a parable for the financial world that every single one of us has to deal with.
And this comparison just lays it all out, doesn't it? The promise they sell you is all about freedom, getting rewards, how convenient it is. But the actual price you pay, as Mikey found out, is the total opposite. It's a leash. It's borrowing time from your own future. It's buying comfort now that's going to cost you way more down the road.
And this is the absolute key takeaway. When you swipe that card, you're not really using your own money. You're borrowing time from your future self. It's like you're taking out a loan against the person you hope to be tomorrow and making them pay for today.
Which brings us to the final choice, the one we all have to think about.
So the source material asks us to do one thing. The next time you're about to swipe, the next time you think, "Oh, I'll just pay it off later," just pause, just for a second.
And in that moment, ask yourself this really powerful question. Is what I'm about to do buying me real freedom? Or am I just renting a little bit of comfort from my future? And that's a question worth thinking about long after this is over.